Whoa, what's with all this?
You know, just getting in the spirit. Aren't we reviewing that memory game that we were talking about?
Yeah, but what's with the werewolf costume?
Remember Silver? It's a werewolf theme. What's with the unicorn headband?
I thought we were reviewing Cabo, you know, the one with the unicorn?
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Hey, how's it going? I'm Bianca.
And I'm James.
We're a husband and wife board gaming duo called the Tricktakers. We're here to play our hand at board game reviews and how-tos.
Today we're talking about not one, but two games with similar memory mechanics that are both published by Bezier Games.
Which one will win this battle royale between Cabo and Silver Amulet?
Let's find out. Our first game, Cabo, is a 2 to 4 player card game designed by Melissa Limes and Mandy Henning.
Woo! Girl power!
The object of the game is to get the lowest score. Each player starts with 4 cards face down in front of them, with the rest of the deck placed in the center of the table at the start of the game. Players peek at just 2 of their cards, while the other 2 cards remain a mystery.
Each turn, players can take one of 3 of the following actions. The first is to draw from the deck. This entails secretly looking at the top card from the deck and deciding to use its ability, discard it, or exchange the card for one or more of your cards.
There are 3 different types of abilities in this game a card may have. Peek allows you to secretly view one of your own face-down cards. Spy means you can secretly view a face-down card of another player. And Swap, which allows you to exchange one of your cards with a card from another player.
The second action you can take is to draw from the discard pile, and then exchange the card for one or more of your cards. This will remain face up.
Lastly, if you think you have the lowest total on the cards in front of you, you can call Cabo.
A round ends when a player calls Cabo. Then, points are added up based on the card numbers in front of each player. If the person who called Cabo has the fewest points, they score 0, and the other player's scores are equal to the sum of their cards.
If the player who called Cabo does not have the fewest points, they score the sum of their cards plus an additional 10 points. So be careful.
The game ends when a player exceeds 100 points. The player with the lowest point total wins.
Now that you have a general idea of how Cabo works, let's switch gears to the second game in this comparison, Silver Amulet, designed by Ted Alspach.
Silver has the same base rules as Cabo, but with a few key differences. For instance, instead of 4 cards, this game begins with 5 face-down cards in front of each player.
Every card in this game has an ability, versus Cabo, which only has 3 abilities that appear on only half of the cards in the deck.
There are so many different abilities in Silver, it does bring the complexity up a notch. For example, the Exposer allows you to turn one of your cards face up, which comes in handy if you have the Rascal card. This card allows you to draw 1 extra card from the deck when it is face up in front of you.
Silver also has an Amulet token that allows the winner of the last round to protect one of their cards from being stolen or viewed by the other players.
When a player says call, the round ends and the scoring phase is initiated. The scoring in Silver Amulet is the same as the scoring for Cabo.
However, unlike Cabo, which has an unlimited number of rounds up to 100 points, Silver ends after the 4th round of play. Points are totaled and the player with the fewest total points wins.
Okay, so full disclosure, the publisher did send us these games, but all of our opinions expressed in this video are fully our own.
Here's where things get interesting. We've divided this comparison into 5 categories: complexity, theme, rulebook, components, and pacing. First up is complexity. This is a no-brainer. Silver has more strategy than Cabo just because of all the different abilities.
It is also the first game in a series of 4. The cards can be swapped out between all of them, so that adds another layer of depth to this game.
The most complex game in this battle goes to Silver Amulet. Next, let's talk about theme. Cabo has a whimsical unicorn theme and colorful art style. In this game, you are searching for Cabo the Unicorn. These cards are worth 0 points, making them the most valuable in the deck. So if you have any of those cards, you'll want to hold on to them, and be the first to say,
Cabo! Silver Amulet takes place in the same universe as One Night Ultimate Werewolf. So the game has a darker color palette, and Pixar-esque characters on the cards. The numbers on your cards represent the number of werewolves they attract. So the goal is to have the lowest number of wolves at the end of the game.
Between the two, Silver does seem to have a stronger story because it reflects characters from the Ultimate Werewolf universe.
But at the same time, both games have themes that are in line with their level of complexity. So for theme, I'm thinking it's a tie. Now it's time to talk about the rulebooks for each of these games. Cabo has a double-sided rule sheet that is straightforward, clearly written, and doesn't take a lot of time to digest. So it's super easy to teach to other players.
Silver Amulet comes with a 10-page rulebook and a reference guide that you'll want to keep handy as you play. It explains the abilities of each card more thoroughly. The rulebook does get a bit wordy at times, making it difficult to understand. So I was actually glad that we played Cabo first to get the general idea of gameplay.
Between these two games, Cabo wins for the most clear and concise rulebook.
Pacing is a big differentiator for us between these two games. In Cabo, the game is played up to 100 points with an unlimited number of rounds.
Silver is played in 4 rounds, so it seems that it would have the upper hand here, but don't let that deceive you.
All of the abilities in Silver led us to analysis paralysis. We also had to pause gameplay a few times to look up specific abilities in the reference guide, which also slowed down gameplay.
We found it especially tricky to remember our face-down cards when we had to stop to look up the rules for certain ones.
These are two very similar games, but one of them stands out to us for its quick turns and silky smooth gameplay, and that's Cabo.
Lastly, let's consider the components. Cabo comes in a thin cardboard box that is a little fiddly to handle. However, it's small enough to fit in your back pocket when you're on the go. The cards also have a nice linen texture, giving them a high quality feel.
Silver Amulet comes in a solid box with a separate lid and dividers for organizing all of the cards. This makes it super easy to swap out your cards with other games from the Silver series. There's even a cozy slot for the Silver Amulet. The box won't fit in your back pocket, but the insert does make setup a lot easier.
Bezier Games has released a deluxe edition of Cabo that has a nicer box, but for the purposes of this review, we have to go with the games that we have in hand. So for components, Silver Amulet takes the win. Overall, Cabo and Silver Amulet are both 2 to 4 player card games that play in 45 minutes or less. They have similar turn options and the same scoring rules.
We would categorize both of these as filler games that require good memory and a lot of focus.
So which one of these games do we recommend?
Well, that depends. If you're looking for a card game to jump into without having to read a lot of rules, then we recommend Cabo.
However, if you're looking for a game with a little more strategy, then give Silver a try.
Or if you're looking to pick up multiple games from the Silver series, then go for it. You can mix and match the cards as you see fit.
For us, our personal go-to is Cabo. It's the perfect filler game to kick off your board game night.
It requires minimal setup and plays smoothly because you don't have to look up the rules during gameplay. It's the kind of game you can play before dinner and have the cards put away before food is on the table.
Thank you for tuning in for this game comparison. Have you played Cabo and Silver? Which one's your favorite?
Or what are some of your other favorite card games? Let us know in the comments.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. We post new videos every other Thursday.
So be sure to subscribe and ring that bell to get notified when our next video drops. We'll see you next time.
Trick Takers out.